Kane, it's 1-0. We're fucking down. 13th in the championship. The takeover happened, as I said it would. People will be... Oh, when have we got Leeds? Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. All good evening, all good night. What should I say? It's 10:30. I didn't envisage to be doing this. However, I have seen the outcry for outrage at being third in the league, having lost just 4 games of football. And I've literally seen all in my comments about Daniel Farkes not the man for the job. He only was good because he had Buendia and Pookie. All this sort of BS that is coming out about Daniel Farkes. And it's unfair, and it's unfounded, and it's out of order, in my humble opinion. Okay? I've had people telling me that I should be calling for his head because I called for Jesse's head, and apparently he's nowhere near as good as Jesse or comparable. Well, this is just stupid. This is just stupid. Now that I can already see the comments coming in that I've already starred, because I think some of you make some good points. I will be joined by Luke from Ought to Know Better, but I agree with what Room Priest's saying in the comments. Overreaction FC. It is crazy. The mustard is still on the shelf. It is. They did us a favour. We just did not do ourselves a favour. But that's okay. This happens. It is football. You cannot win every game of football. You cannot. I still sit here and say with chess that had we have not had the August we had, we would also be on similar points to Leicester and Ipswich. A lot of the draws came during that month. Yeah. People trying to twist and shout and say that Daniel Farkes is a poor manager all of a sudden. It's bad. Do you know what I mean? It is bad. It's mental. It's insanity. People just need to relax. People just need to relax. For me, anyway. I've had a look at some of the historical data for points after game week 21 in the championship as well. We ain't doing bad, people. We're not doing bad. I genuinely feel it's a massive overreaction. I want to get your thoughts in the comments brought into the chat as well. You know, I want you to... I'm going to go through some of my comments from my post-match reaction as well. And you can see I'm very tired. I'm very tired, but it is what it is. I've seen people say it's bad football that we're playing. It's not. We're not playing bad football. I don't think. Do you think we're playing bad football? Really? What you are watching? Do you know what I genuinely feel it is? It's a sense of entitlement from the fan base. Because prior to Premier League football, and I know, okay, well, where's your standards? You know, you've got to improve and all this sort of stuff. But prior to Premier League football, prior to Marcelo Bielsa, maybe we've been spoiled as a fan base, but prior to Bielsa football, that was bad football. That was bad football. Darko Milanic, Steve Evans, Neil Warnock, all these other managers. That was bad football. I'm genuinely reading that people say this is bad football that we're playing now. It's boring, apparently. LUFC says it's dog shit football. I don't know what you're expecting. I don't know what you watch. I don't know. I've seen comments say that Daniel Farkes not improving players. This is lies. We have Gio Rutter, who is biggest for chances created in the league. How does he do that? Who puts together the game plan to ensure that Gio Rutter can create all these chances? Because that same Gio Rutter played in a side last season and didn't get given minutes because apparently he wasn't good enough according to the managers. But under Daniel Farkes creating. Daniel James, even under Bielsa, rubbish. I'm sorry, he was. We then have managers come in. Even worse. He's now scoring goals and getting assists. Is that not improving? Is that not a byproduct of Daniel Farke's football? Crescencio Somerville was always good. This season, unbelievable. So Formula One Sonny says there's no game plan. What are you? How are we winning football matches then? Like, how are we winning football matches? Do you think Daniel Farke goes, right, lads, go out, enjoy yourself? This isn't Vibes FC. This isn't Jesse Marsh. This isn't let's stick some bullet points on a wall and keep narrow kind of bullshit. It's insane. It's insane. I've got Luke anyway. Let's bring in Luke. Be good to chat to Luke as well. Mate, I think
mate.
Oh, mate, there's been such a massive overreaction. Daniel Farke's not the right man. We're playing rubbish football. You know, all this sort of stuff. There will be counter narratives to what me and Luke will say because we've probably got similar opinions. So I will put them comments up because you deserve to have that. But Luke, I put entitled and you agreed with me. I believe as a fan base, we have become entitled. It's like we expect to steamroll every team. Let's not forget we spent 3 seasons in the Premier League. Three. We've dropped back down to the Championship. And I said on that tweet that I put out as well, Leicester and Ipswich are an anomaly. Yeah, they are not the rule, they're the anomaly. And people say, well, just because they're having a good season, we're shit. Well, no, if you take out them two, we're top, right? Like I've had a look, and I'm just going to quickly share this before I let you go, Luke.
Go for it.
So this is the best starts ever after 21 games. The best starts ever. There's only one team who are better in Reading and Leicester. That are better in Leicester and Ipswich, and that's Reading. And they, guess what, have the best points total a Championship has ever seen with 100 and whatever points. So they are an exception to the rule. Yeah. So to say that we're so far off the pace and all this, yeah, okay, we may well be, but remember August. Remember August, what went on in August. But we're going up against two sides that are by far and away after 21 games, some of the best teams that look at the teams that are just below them. Wolves, we all remember that Wolves team, Ruben Neves and co. Newcastle below that, we all remember Newcastle team with Rafa Benitez, John Joe Shelby and all them pulling the strings. We were in them divisions. We were then playing shit football. We were then going nowhere that people say we're currently at now, yet we're third in the league. You know what I mean? It's mad. It's mad.
Just on that, Joe, just while you just got that table up, look, put it into perspective, 1920, that amazing season we had under Marcelo Bielsa, that is only 11th in the list. There is 2 teams in that league this season that are above and beyond what Marcelo Bielsa did with that Leeds United squad. And we thought that was the second coming. You know, we thought that was, you know, and that is 11th place in Championship history. Look, Leicester and Ipswich are currently outperforming that start the start we had to that season by I think 5 points now.
Yeah.
And we had an amazing start that season. Look, take away the first month of this season. Any Leeds fan tells me that they wouldn't snap your hand off for the position we're in now after the first month we had under Daniel Farke and the break we had, they're lying to you. And they're lying to you, quite simply. Yeah. There's no sane or honest Leeds fan out there that I believe would have said after that first month we had that car crash, Cine leaving, Tyler Adams leaving. Tyler Roberts was a bonus, but Tyler Adams leaving and you know, and the position we were in, we were bringing players in, we were signing players, and it was just it was a fucking car crash. Let's be honest. Yeah. It was an absolute car crash, and that's where the entitled comes into it for me. It's like you said, we've had some shit managers. We've played some shit football. That was crap. Like, don't get me wrong, we're a big club. We're too big for the Championship. We are. Everyone says that. All my mates who are Scum fans, who are Villa fans, who are Newcastle fans, they all tell me we're too big for the Championship. And the Premiership needs us. That doesn't give us a right on merit to be playing in the Premier League. And that's what I mean. Too many people believe that hype. Too many people believe that because we're a big club, we should be in the Premier League.
I've just noticed something as well, bro. Do you know the 2 seasons Daniel Farke won the league and finished first with 90 plus points? Yeah. On that list, they are 23rd and 24th. After this stage of the season, they had 44 points, 2 more than we've got now. And they won the league with 90 points when we were in it. Do you remember when we were in it? Yeah. So This isn't a bad start. We are not playing poorly. It just feels that way because Ipswich and Leicester are doing what they're doing. If they weren't doing what they're doing, we'd all be going, it's calm, it's all right, you can't win every game, we're still at the top, we're still in second. But because they're doing what they're doing, and hats off to them, they're doing amazing, both of them. You know, the stats show it after 22 games. There's only one team that's bettered them. So it's just unfortunate we find ourselves in this situation. But to then say it's basically the general rhetoric seems to be that it is Farke's fault, that it's all on Daniel Farke. You know, everyone's okay with the players, it seems. You know, we got Rutter. Apparently he's not getting enough out of them. Yet if you look at the goal scoring charts, the assist charts, they're all up there. So he's doing that. You know, I've just seen Oscar put out a tweet saying people are now having a go at him for relying too much on Rutter and Somerville. But then, like Oscar says, why wouldn't you rely on them? We relied on Pablo Hernandez under Bielsa. That's why you have them in the squad.
Norwich relied on Wendia and Pukki. Do you know what I mean? That's how football works. You've always got better players. I think I do understand people's frustrations with Farke, and I'm starting to understand it. And we're right as fans, and we've got an entitlement within reason to actually expect to actually be able to break these teams down, because Coventry didn't offer fuck all today, apart from a long ball out to Ellis Sims up front. Who ran the channels and broke us, put us under a little bit of pressure. But other than that, I mean, this sort of ties in with this entitlement. Look, because we control every game, people are expecting us to win by 4 or 5 goals, and some teams we simply can't break down. Is that on Farke? We seem to be doing the right things. When it goes right, people are all very much, oh, great, let's, Daniel Farke's second coming to Bielsa, we're going to be smashing the league. But hang on, when he gets it wrong, it's Farke out start time. There's no happy medium. I think we need to. And I said this on the final word the other day. We need to be very careful what we wish for, because I'm happy with the position we're in at the moment. I'm not panicking. I'm not worried yet. I think it's a lot of work to do. I think we can improve the squad. I think there's definitely improvements that we can make. But I'm not in a position where I wake up after a game and I think, fucking hell, man, we only drew with Coventry at home. We've lost 4 games all season. That's entitlement.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm saying. Like, he's not the best man for the job, and we've lost 4 games. Do you know what I mean? That seems to be.
I had somebody suggest to me Graham Potter earlier, and I just had to laugh because, look, Graham Potter is never going to come to us.
No,
there is nobody who knows this league better. And then I had somebody comment saying he's a dinosaur in this league. It was only 4 years ago when he got promoted.
Someone said he's a dinosaur.
Farke's a dinosaur for this league, he said. Honestly, man.
He's third in the league.
We're third in the league. We've arguably the worst. With arguably the worst start out of any of the top half of the table, apart from Southampton, maybe they had a probably pretty shitty start as well. But yeah, I mean, you take into account that first month, and we could pretty much arguably almost write that off. And if we had won every game in that first month, we would actually only be 4 or 5 points behind. And we've got Ipswich to play again. Ipswich have got Leicester to play twice. Ipswich and Leicester have got players going on international duty. There's so much more to this season, and people seem to forget how long we were in this championship and what it feels like and how quickly things can turn on its head. And it will. There'll be upsets this season. Leicester and Ipswich, I tell you now, will not win every game you expect them to win for the rest of the season.
Yeah, no, I agree. I've just keep getting your comments in, folks, because I am starring them, because we're gonna go through them. We're going to go through them. I just want to focus in on this because people are talking about style and all that sort of stuff. Jamie Dixon says we are the highest chances created. If anything, we should have more goals and assists. So whose fault is that? That's not Daniel Farke. If we're creating the most chances in the league, that's him who's enabling that by what he's asking the players to do. Now, okay, it might be due to individual brilliance or whatever, but he's engineering the plan that means Leeds United create the most chances in the league. If anything, we should have more goals and assists. Again, that's not Daniel Farke. Do you go along with this rhetoric that it's boring football?
Absolutely not. We were all saying it's how exciting it was, and that we're playing on the front foot. Teams that come at us, we open them up. Look, we struggle against teams who play what's now better known as a low block and play 5 and 4 and 1 up front. They play 5 at the back, four midfielders, and then leave 1 up top, and we struggle with it. Look. Any team would. Man City struggled with it today. against Palace.
No,
you know,
exactly, yeah.
Any team in the right mind will struggle against a low block, and it's up to the players. That's not Daniel Farkes' system to be able to how to tell players to beat the defenders that are going to sit back. We know what they're going to do. You know, it's up to the players. I've heard people say there's no passing movement and that. There is. Watch every player after they've made a pass.
Yeah, exactly.
It's mental.
Mad. I agree. The Mar says people are happy to just accept mediocrity. It's crazy to me. This is where I come back to this entitlement demand. Though for me, we're not being mediocre. We're third in the league. We've lost 4. And people are saying, yeah, but it's not August. But what Luke said at the start, players refusing to play. Nonto and Sinistera, case in point, before Birmingham. Look at that team against Birmingham. You had Jamie Shackleton at right wing, who now doesn't even get in the squad. You had Dan James. You had, who wasn't playing well at the time, by the way. You had Joffrey playing in that game, who actually looked pretty bright today when he came on. But again, he doesn't get minutes. You know, I genuinely believe if we were to play August again now, we would have a higher points total. Do you see what I'm saying? If you remember, that transfer window shut. Transfer window shut on the 1st of September. That day we played a game, right? We drew with Chef Wednesday, that game, right? Since then, we just won. We were winning. We've had the odd loss here and there. We had like 7 clean sheets on the bounce or whatever it was. You know, so if you were to remove that August from this season and say replay it in a month's time, it'd be a totally different outlook. So I don't think Leeds are being mediocre right now. That's my point. I don't know where we see this you know, mediocrity. Someone's just said there, okay, Ipswich and Leicester break any side down regardless of who they play. Well, that's not true, is it?
That's a myth. That's just a myth that we want to accept as Leeds fans. It's not true.
Yeah.
Look at the score today.
Because,
Ipswich drew today. Leicester been beat by West Brom and by ourselves. Ipswich were beaten by ourselves.
Ipswich have lost. Leicester have lost 3 games. Leicester have lost 3. Ipswich have lost 2. We've lost 4. There's not that much difference, is there really, if we're being honest?
And they don't break every team down that they play at all.
No, they don't. You're right. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, because we drop points and then see them win late goals or whatever, but they also lose games of football, folks. I know firsthand, having a friend who's a Leicester fan, know that they bemoan not having a plan B when they drop points. They say, oh, we need this, we need that. Oh, they're in meltdown. This happens in every fan base. I'm just trying to see some perspective. You know what I mean? Like, I finished the game. I was annoyed myself. I was frustrated, of course, because Ipswich dropped points. There's a chance. And then as I'm away and I'm going for tea or whatever, I'm seeing the reaction. And all my comments early were like, Farkes not the man. This is not that. And I'm like, what? Like, what are we seeing here? What do people expect other than us to win every game? And again, for me, that comes down to entitlement. Now, no one's sat here saying that he's exempt from criticism. Yes, we'd like him to use the squad more. Yes, we'd like him to use subs maybe earlier and try switch things up, which I think he did. I think he did today, though, with the 2 changes that he came on with just Bamford and Nonto. We didn't see Anthony. He brought Joffrey in. We haven't seen that before. But because it didn't come off, we were like, scratching our head.
It should have done. But it should have done. Danny James had a great chance. You know, we had a couple of good chances when the subs came on.
Yeah. This is it, though, isn't it? I thought today, Nonto, Bamford aside at this point for me, mate. I know you're a big fan, but I don't think he did it all today. But Nonto really had an impact. Nonto had a really good impact. And Fark has been saying about they need to show me. I'm expecting Nonto to start next game. Now, I won't bring out James because I thought James was great on the right-hand side and defended really, really well. I think had he have not defended as well as he did in the first half, we could have been in bigger trouble. I think the weak link at the minute for me is Pirro. That's just my opinion. I think I would rather see Somerville and Nonto closer together, James out on the right and Rutter. That would be my front 4 going into the next game because the Pirro experiment isn't really working for me personally. Again, but this is what I'm saying. We can all have our opinions. We can all criticize, but to say he's not the right man and to say Leeds should be doing better and all this, I'm like, what more do you want, man? 4 losses is not a lot of losses, people.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I I think the Pirot experiment. I don't think it is an experiment. I just don't think he doesn't trust him to play up front because we expect our 9 to press, and he doesn't do that. He looks sluggish turning. Looks like he looks really, really sluggish. He's not. He can play behind the striker, and that's where he played for Swansea, and that's his preferred position, shall we say. But it's much closer to the striker. The expectation we've got for him is, especially, and I mention it again, in the low block, he comes too deep to try and collect the ball. He tries doing what a 10 does, and he's not a 10. Yeah. He's not. He's a second striker. And that's where, as soon as you pull Rutter and Pirot, they should almost never be more than 7 or 8 yards away from each other. But as soon as they play a low block and we've got nobody, because Ampadu and Kamara both sit really deep, they very rarely get forward. Kamara doesn't, sort of more so. But look, I looked at the stats today and I said I think I tweeted something like, there's no denying that when those statistics are brought up to you at the end of the game, there's some tweaking needs to be done. You should be winning a game with those statistics. 20 shots I think we had in total or something like that. But look, I can understand why people. I'm frustrated. I was angry as anything after the game. I was like, we're all within us rights to be frustrated, but I just think we've got to be careful what we say, because anything we do say, especially on social media, is there forever unless you delete it, and somebody can go back to that. And I mean, look. We've got a long, long way to go this season. We're not even at the halfway point. And I mentioned earlier on, we've seen it firsthand where we were top at Christmas and didn't get promoted. 2018. I mean, we're the first team ever to do it, but it just shows how much this table can just flip on its head. A few wins and a few losses. And look, Ipswich and Leicester, do they really look like losing? No, but they will. No. They will. It's a long old season. It's they've had a great start, and I think to use them as our barometer is probably a little bit unfair. I think Farkes coming in, the takeover. We've been through a lot more as a club over the last, since August. I think we've got to be more realistic than pessimistic at the moment. There's not a lot to be upset about. Look, have we dropped 5 points in the last game? I think a draw at Sunderland would have been fair, and 3 points today. So for me, we've dropped 3 points over the last. Is that right?
Yeah. No, it's right. Yeah, it's right.
So for me, I think we've dropped 3 points. Because I felt we should. Wait a minute. Yeah, we got 1 point. I think we should have had probably 4 in the last 2 games. So it is 3 points drop. But luckily, Ipswich have got a draw today as well. The pressure's going to come on. They've got a tough run in. We've got. I think the game at our place will be massive.
Yeah, for sure. Joe says, "Nah, you lads seem to be missing the point. You're not a real Leeds fan unless you hate absolutely everyone at the club." I think that's fine. Right. Okay. So. Someone's just said in the comments, because I'm starring as we go, we will get to as many. Darren says, people blaming August is daft. Well, it's not daft, is it, mate? Because you've seen this situation at the football club. We lost 1 game. Yes, we did. But we also drew at home to Cardiff, which Cardiff are bang average. We drew against West Brom at home. Again, and I'm talking performances here as well. That West Brom game, it's easy now with hindsight to say, yeah, but they're a good side. But at that time, we should have got more out of the game. Had we have had better players, we would have, right? Had we have had the full players at our disposal, we would have. Had we not been all over the shop, we would have. Birmingham, we lost to Birmingham City, folks. Do you know what I mean? I think if we were to play that again, I don't think it's daft. But again, you're entitled to your opinion. And Darren says we've lost 1 game in each of the next 3 months. We aren't consistent. We can't win every game of football. As we've seen, Leicester have also lost 3. They also lose games of football. You know what I mean? So 4 ain't that bad going, really, if we're being totally honest.
Also lost Sinistera, Tyler Adams. We also lost, we also just not blaming August necessarily just on the results. It was the uncertainty, the people not training, Farkes making people train on their own to earn the worth. Do you know what I mean? There was a lot going on at the football
100%.
club.
People didn't know whether they were coming or going, did we? I don't know when we brought Pirot in. I don't know when off the top of my head, when these players started to come in through the door that we did bring in. You know what I mean? So I'd have to check that back. But right, okay. when you say Ipswich are an exception, why is that? Well, they're winning a lot of games of football. Yes, they are well coached, under no illusions. What are you saying then? That our coach isn't good enough because he's not as good as Kieran McKenna? Is that the point you're making, Jamie? I'm not sure. The quality of squad, no, they've got some good players: Burns, Broadhead, Leif Davis, Hurst, others. Right? Do I think they've got a better squad than us? No, you know that. I can't sit here and say he's as good as Kieran McKenna because the stats show and the performances this season show he ain't, but I don't get your point.
I think for me, Joe, they are well drilled, but we've got to also take into account they didn't lose at home for 18 months and they were riding the crest of a wave. You know, the confidence in football is absolutely massive. Look, I liken his, not his style necessarily, but what he's done at Ipswich, I liken to what Marcelo did at Leeds. You know, they had a team of grafters and they do work hard. I think they've run the most in the league over the course of the season so far, and he's got them playing well together. And look, they are an exception. Not many teams come up from League One and do what they're doing. How's that not an exception? I just seen a comment there, Joe. War Piglet. Just going back to August, we had 2 keepers on the bench for a couple of games, didn't we?
Go. Perfect.
You know what I mean?
Great shout. Yeah. But there are people. Yeah, exactly.
Easy to forget, isn't it?
There you go. Paul says 10 players incoming, mostly late in the month, 15 outgoing. That is a big turnover and not easy to deal with. He steadied the ship. Farke just need time to shake things up a bit, which I think he will do, which he is doing, Paul, because, again, we're third in the league. We're the third best team in the league right now. That's not bad going. Do you know what I mean? That is not bad going. There's some more comments I do want to get up. Jody, who's not a big fan. I know you're not a big fan, Jody. You said the tactics are fundamentally wrong, though. Again, I disagree. I don't know if they were fundamentally wrong, we won't be sat in third in the league.
What would you change?
Exactly.
Other than the obvious, would probably not play Pirro in the 10 or expect him to play a 10.
Yeah. I'm just gonna fundamentally, right? I just want to get the dictionary for, like, what this actually means in the English dictionary.
It's completely wrong.
In central or primary respects. So everything about it is wrong, basically. Yeah. Like, if that's the case, it's used to make an emphatic statement about the basic truth of something. So basically what you're saying is it's all wrong. Yeah, that's what you're saying. Everything is wrong, what Daniel Farke's doing. And Jody, I have to disagree fundamentally because we're third in the league. We win games of football. Yes, we've dropped points against Sunderland. Yes, we dropped points at home. Guess what as well, Luke? We've not been beaten at home, bro.
Still unbeaten at the road all season.
Do you know what I mean? That's not a bad stat, is it?
Until Saturday.
It's so true. But yeah, to say that, Jody, I know you're not his biggest fan. But I think for me to say it's fundamentally wrong is not true. Again, right. Do we have a left back that's fit and ready to play? We don't, do it.
No, so this one square pegs. You know, Jed is probably the best option for right now.
Yes, I agree. You can put Gray there, but it's still the same, Jody. Still the same. So yeah, it is what it is. Let's get to some more comments because there's some mad ones. Rossi says Farke shouldn't be sacked, but he needs to be more pragmatic. I mean, people, though, Rossi, are saying that the football's rubbish. I don't know why he needs to be pragmatic. I had a comment, actually, on one of my other videos that I wanted to bring up. I said, people, maybe we're not as good as defensively as we think we are. I thought we were really good today. Yeah, the centre-backs could do better with the cross. People are saying Melier should come out. I think if he comes out, he's in no man's land. But, yeah.
And then we're slating him for flapping and whatever else.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. The centre-backs got it. Well, it weren't even the centre-back. Strout decided not to jump. Gray was behind. And he just got in between him. I would say that the issues came further up the pitch because that was
their centre-back who headed it.
It was a centre-back, bro. And it weren't a corner. And it weren't a free kick. He actually marauded from centre-back in between our two defenders and headed it. So the issue comes further up the pitch for me. Because why is a centre-back even in that position on an attack anyway? You know, the last time that was happening was like when Bielsa was getting cut open 6s and 7s by Liverpool and Matip was scoring. Do you know what I mean? That shouldn't be happening. So I think the issues come further up the pitch for me. But I don't know. Do you think it needs to be more pragmatic? Like,
I mean, I'd like to see something different, but I fail to understand and fail. I mean, anybody who's played football will understand. I mean, I've never played to a good level. I don't profess to be, you know, a professor in tactics or anything like that. I would like to see a proper midfielder playing our number 10 spot, because I think that would make a whole of difference to us. And I think that is pretty much it. You put Pablo in that squad today, we win 4-0, 5-0.
Yeah.
You know, you put somebody who can actually play 10 and move their defenders around. Pirro, I think Farke is trying to make Pirro play more like a 10 than actually a support striker or a second striker, or whatever you want to call it. And I think that's detrimental to us. So I think for me,
he wanted Amiri, didn't he? He wanted Amiri. He wanted Amiri. And I think they wanted Archer. And Archer moved to Villa, and then we went, right, just get Pirro. 12 million, there you go.
Yeah. And I still don't think. I know we were on with JT the other day, and he said our best option at 10 would be Rutter. I disagree with that. I don't think Rutter could play in the 10. I don't think he's silky enough to with the passing and that. I think he's got we look how many times he loses possession when he's got the ball at his feet. So he's got a few tricks, but he again, we need somebody who's naturally. Look at Pritchard the other day against us. You know, he sat in that spot, and he moved us around, and he looked dangerous, and that's what we need. Somebody with a bit of an old head, and somebody a bit more experienced, and somebody who can, with great vision. We don't really have anybody like that for me, anyway. I mean, somebody tried telling me Bate was the answer the other day.
Yeah,
Bate, who was on loan at Oxford, and they finished 19th of 24 or something.
Get Sonny Perkins back as well, who can't get a game at Oxford. Do you know what I mean? Maybe give that a try.
So I think for me, Joe, I think if, in terms of pragmatism, what I would like to see is him try somebody else there, and not just go for it from the start with Pirro, and then actually think about it later on in the 70th minute when we're chasing the game either to win or to draw. But actually think about who else in the squad has actually got that little bit more vision and that little bit more old manning, I suppose, and actually be able to move players around without even doing a lot of running. They don't do a lot. Pablo didn't run that much.
No,
I mean, he did, but not towards the end. But it's somebody like that, and I don't see it in our squad, unfortunately. So I think we're probably going to have to go out to auction in January.
Yeah, I agree. I just want to clear something up as well. Jack says, Joe, you did say the other day you're not happy with the way Farke just put 6 attackers on when we go down. So yes, he needs to be more pragmatic. That's not the same thing. I'm just saying I still want you to be attacking. Just do it in a way that's a little bit more methodical than just saying let's throw 6 strikers on. Pragmatism for me is more defensive. It's wanting to get a goal, then defend really well. I would rather we continue to score goals. Do you know what I mean? That's the way I see pragmatism. When I say I don't like the way he puts it, listen, no one's exempt from criticism. I've said this. I just think it's mad. We can criticize. Bielsa we criticized for certain things, but to throw, what's that saying? Throw everything in the bathwater with a baby or whatever like that, because that seems to be the general reaction. And I'm worried and concerned that it's going to get worse because we will lose more games of football. If we lost against Ipswich, oh my God, I cannot deal with it. And it's like, just try and, you know what I mean? And say, right, okay, this is where we're at. This is what we need to do moving forward. Do you know what I mean? Joy's making the same excuses he made for Grazia. Steve, I think you're just trying to pull like triggers and all that sort of stuff. I don't even know what that means. Unambiguous says, so Joe, the current circumstances, do you see us compete with top 2 now? Where do you personally think we'll finish, seeing what we have and where we are at now? It's still too early to say, right? Like, do you think it is, surely?
Yeah, man. Look, we've been about long enough in this game to know what the championship can throw up. It's I still like what Farke says, that like, look, if it gets down to the last 10 games and we're still in this position, then we know where we are. But until we get there, nobody's gonna. I've had people telling me playoffs are already sealed. I was like, tell me the fucking winning lottery numbers. Do you know what I mean? You might as well tell me the lottery numbers for the weekend. I just don't get this defeated attitude. Because look, they're flying, absolutely fine, and our work is on to catch them. It's very difficult to catch teams that are in form and they've got a head start on you. But I've just looked at the bookies odds for promotion. This is so that's including playoffs. Leicester 1 to 16 on, 16 to 1 on.
Yeah.
Ipswich 9 to 4 on, so 4 to 9, and Leeds 1 to 2. So we are 1/10 difference between us and Ipswich to be promoted. They've got 10-point head start. The bookies know more than us.
Yeah,
I mean, they don't always, obviously, but they'll have put it into their data computers that'll tell them fixtures, home and away, previous meetings, all that sort of rubbish, and they will have a general idea. So to have us only a cat's knacker hair away from actually being behind them, in promotion, it speaks volumes. And I, for one, I'm not ready to throw in the towel anyway. I'm not.
No, definitely not. No. Paul G says this mentality is why we fail as a club and owners take advantage. Paul, this again comes back to my entitlement, right? When have we ever been in this position before in the last 2 decades? When have we ever been, even when Bielsa came in, guess what? We weren't expected to be it. We weren't expected to do it, right? The second season, yes, we did. And we went out, we played Bristol City, we beat them 3-1. And we're like, yeah, we're back where we are. We're going to go up. And we did have expectance then. With them being 3 seasons in the Premier League, drop back down. Now there is an expectance. But to say that because we are okay with what's going on at the football club now, therefore, I think this is wild. We're not. Sometimes I think we need to realize where we are. You know what I mean? Where we are. We do not have a divine right to. I don't think it's a case of us. Then do you know what that sounds like to me? It sounds like Arsenal fans. It sounds like Man United fans. And to be fair to them, as much as I dislike Man United, they sort of have a right because they've done all that. When was the last time we did all that? So I don't think it's fair. I think it's a bit of realism to sit here and say, do you know what? We're doing all right. We're doing all right. Good to see this from Jamie. I didn't know this is top 2 by January 1st is now mathematically impossible. Didn't know that. Thanks for letting me know that, Jamie. Here's an outsider's perspective. JB says, as a Leicester fan, again, for those, as a Leicester fan, I think Leeds are playing the most exciting team to watch in the Championship. So I don't get why your fans think it's boring. If you want to know boring, watch Leicester City. And I mean that with the best will in the world. If you want to see boring football, go watch Leicester City. Because watching them for 90 minutes is like pulling teeth. They just keep possession of the ball, really no incision. Yes, they take their opportunities, but JB will probably say, out of the 2 teams, who would have my right? Well, he's telling you there. The most exciting. You know what I mean? He's Leeds United. But he doesn't think it's sustainable for 46 games, which is fair enough. It can be transitional. It can be relying on moments.
We don't expect to win 46 games in a season.
No.
That's the point. We're going to have. There's going to be peaks and troughs throughout our season, and the sooner we accept that as a fan base, the easier our season will be on all of us. Whether it be online, whether it be in the stands or in the pub or whatever. We just don't. You can't expect to go through a season and not have some poor performances. Even under God himself, we had some really poor performances. Even in the season we got promoted, I can't remember off the top of my head, but there was 2 or 3 that season. I remember thinking, my God, we're probably not going to get promoted this year again.
Yeah.
But it's going to happen. There's things go on. There's illnesses. There's been illness in camp apparently. There's been there's all sorts going on. There's conversations we won't even ever find out about.
Yeah, no, exactly. Do you know what as well? This is where, and I hear it, right? You're all saying, right, but this is changing the question. People are saying his football's rubbish. People are saying it's boring. It's not effective enough. We've just had a Leicester fan say, no, your football's better than ours. Ours is shit. We're just winning games. And then people change it and go, well, wouldn't you rather be then? Hang on a minute. We were answering a different question where you were saying it was shit. I'm not saying I wouldn't rather be top of the league. Of course I would. But people are telling me his football's rubbish. I disagree. And opposing fans also disagree. But then we change it to go, yeah, but I'd rather be them. Yeah, you might be. But that wasn't the question we were answering. Do you know what I mean? So Jamie says it's not my maths. And actually wrong. So it's still on then. We still might do it. But Damar says here, right, okay, no, I hear you. I do think performances should have improved. I do think we could have got something against Sunderland, you know, or should have. I do think we should have got all 3 points today. I'm not saying that. No one's saying that. The point is the reaction to that of, oh my God, we need to throw everything out. I still can't do that saying, but oh my God, like it's game over. That's the point. That's what's perplexed me. That's why I wanted to do this stream, because I'm a little bit like, like, we can't win it all. There's other content creators that will be going along with that narrative, and that's fine. I just don't agree. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I wanted to do this video. Fans are different. That's the whole point, isn't it? That's why we like football. Here's my good friend, Footy Judge Moore says, Leeds shouldn't be doing just all right, though, Joe. Yeah, there is that. There is that. Maybe we should do it. Do you think, based on everything that's gone on this season, we should, like, I guess my point is, Daniel Farkes should be doing better.
You asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you. Yeah.
Do I think Daniel Farkes should be doing better?
Yeah.
I think, as I said earlier on, I think at this stage of the season, given take Leicester and Ipswich out of the equation, completely forget about them, and take into account our results and the games we've had, and the points we're on and the goals we've scored, I would have snapped your hand off.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. My point is, of course, like any manager could be doing better. People probably say Maresca could be doing better. People say McKenna could have done better. He should have won that game today. But I think based on everything, the cards that he's been dealt, I'm happy with what he's doing. And I don't think he could really. Of course, everyone can do it better. It's a mad question. Like it's hard how I'm trying to like position it. Of course, I could be doing better. Luke could be doing better in his day-to-day job. We all can, right? But based on everything that's happened this season, am I okay with where we're at? Yes. Yes, I am. You know what I mean? And like Joe says here, the issues with the side right now are not stemming from Daniel Farkes. He isn't stopping us from missing sitters. He isn't losing anyone at the back post. The system is working. Mistakes just happen. Fair. Do you think that's fair?
Yeah, I think that's a very good summary, and it's almost coincides with you know with what we've known. You know, we tend to make a lot more mistakes than whether we do or not. It just feels like we do because we probably have a lot of pressure and a lot of bias on Leeds. But it does feel like we do make a lot of individual errors, and whereas other teams don't. I mean, there's probably statistics out there to prove that wrong, and as I say, it probably comes with a Leeds bias. But yeah, I just think I don't know. I'm just getting to a point now where I just think, you know what? If you feel that strongly about it, why do you watch it every week?
Yeah, true. Well, this is again sense of entitlement. Someone commented on my video, right, and it blew my mind. Just 1 second, I've got it here. Anyway, I can't find it right now. It was at the top of it. I wonder if he's deleted it. It's probably watching this video thinking I've overreacted. But basically, it was something along the lines of switched it off after 70 minutes. Absolute joke. What? Like, that's when I look at comments like that and I'm going, really?
Yeah. Do you think the Jammy's comment there at the bottom just prompted this question, because I was thinking, man, do you think we're more? Do we think it's entitlement, or do we think it's more worry that we don't want things? Because, you know, if we don't get promoted this season, we lose players, and do you think it's more people thinking a little bit more proactively about actually the future of the club, or do you think it is just genuine? We've lost a game. It's time to get online and let's, you know, call everybody a twat about it. You know what I mean? Rather than actually, there will be some sensible fans amongst us that actually think, you know what, we don't go up this season, or we don't get up automatically. We go to playoffs. We know what happens with playoffs. You know, actually, people actually worry about it. But I think
potentially,
I think it's probably more the former. I think it is probably more just people been entitled and expecting to win every game in this league because we're Leeds United and been in the Premier League for 3 years and we've won European Cup and FA Cups and everything else. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I suppose it's a good question, that, Jamie.
It is. I couldn't find Jammies because he's changed his avatar. His avatar didn't used to look like that, did it, Jammy? That's why I was like, where is he? Because I'm used to seeing him. But there it is. I believe the fans are scared. Yeah, I think, do you know what I think there's an inherent fear of as well? And I'm also the same. And listen, we do the White Rose Rivals, and Huddersfield fan Cossie works in Leeds. And all these mates were saying, we as a Leeds United fan base have an inherent fear of the playoffs. We are convinced that if we go in the playoffs, we will not go up. I think that's also not helping the situation. As a fan base, we are that shit scared of the playoffs that if that top two seems out of reach, which as the games go on, it's looking more and more difficult, and we go, oh God. And I think there's a genuine fear that, shit, we're going to end up in the playoffs. And if we go in the playoffs, we ain't going up. Do you know what I mean? And that doesn't help the situation either, because even I can't shake that. And I'm relatively positive. But even I think in the playoffs, we balls this up. And that is a fear. I do just want to get to my main man. Joe, you say Farke is the best manager. You say we have the strongest squad. So how aren't we freak leaders? I do think he's the best man for the job, you know. And when I say best manager, I say best manager for the job because he's been there, he's done it, he's worn the T-shirt, he's been in this situation. There's only him and Mick McCarthy who've won the championship twice. Okay, that's there. The stats are there. He's got 2 90-point seasons under his belt. So statistically, he's up there. That's why I say that. I also say the point of because while we're all losing our shit, you's getting angry, me losing my shit, others getting angry, Luke getting angry, Daniel Farke's probably sat at home chilling because he's been here, he's seen it, he's worn the T-shirt. As I said, the 2 seasons that he got 90-point seasons, he only had 44 points at this stage of the season. We've got 42. So there's only two points better off than where he was under his Norwich side that won the league twice with 90-plus points. You know what I mean? Like Leeds United, the facts are we could get 90-plus points this season. It might not even go up. And that's just sod's law. Yes, I do think we have the strongest squad. I do, but I am also very biased. But take August. I think August causes a few issues because they get a head start on us. You don't want Farke out, but stop saying we have the... No, I won't. This is what I mean. Relax. If you don't want to hear it, you don't hear it. If I want to say it, I'll say it. This is the point. I don't know why you're getting het up on that. It's like when people say don't predict things. If I say Leeds are going up, guess what? I have no bearing on it. If I say we get relegated, guess what? I have no bearing on it. If I think Farke's the best manager in the league, and I also think we have the best squad, guess what? That's my opinion. You're entitled to yours. You obviously disagree. That's fine. I don't say to you, stop saying that I can't. Do you know what I mean? Relax. James says, Bielsa's Leeds went up with 2.02 points per game, 10 points clear of second place. Leicester are putting up 2.47 points per game. People need to understand context. That's the thing, isn't it?
Well said.
That's the thing. Yeah, I agree. We're actually doing all right, I think. And I get everyone goes, oh, it's not all right to just do all right, but...
Is it natural? I mean, it's natural, isn't it? I mean, for me, social media, Joe, is it brings all this out because before you'd go to a game, and you'd have a conversation in a pub about it. You'd say, "Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that?" And you'd go the next week to the game, and you'd have a conversation about whatever. And you know, I mean, I don't want to blame social media because there's a lot of positives to social media, but for every positive, there seems to be a stronger negative. So, But why? I don't understand this anger around your own team and your own coaches and things. It just done something. It's not something that sits well with me.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do agree. All right, man. Try to get me triggered tonight, Luke. Try to get me triggered, but that's why I wanted to do it because I wanted to rant because I think it's mad. Yeah. Like Andy said, stats, Joe, when it suits your agenda. But you didn't listen to Gabe's facts. Well, guess what, Andy? Do you know since them stats? Since them BS keeper stats, by the way, because we can flip them stats around and tell you that Andre Onana's the best keeper in the Premier League if you want. If you're going to go by them stats, then
or Edison's the worst in the Premier League.
Yeah, Edison's the worst keeper in the league by them stats. Okay, you know, Edison worst, Onana the best by them very stats. But ask yourself the question, how good has Meslier been in the last 3 or 4 games?
All season, in fact.
Yeah, oh yeah, for me and for you, yes. But for those that question him, because Andy's clearly doing that, how good's he been? Was he good today? I think he was good today. Was he good against Sunderland? I think he was good against Sunderland. I don't know what more you want. People that say he's at fault for that goal. I'd love a goalkeeper to come on here and tell me what a goalkeeper would do in that situation, because I guarantee you they wouldn't be coming for that cross. They would not be coming for that cross for me. Anyway, let's have a look. Johnny, I've not listened to it, mate. I've not listened to it. I cannot. But that's because we have difference of opinions when it comes to football, and that's fine. Cool. But we have difference of opinions.
We do too.
It is what it is. It is what it is. People react differently. People have different emotions. I've not read it, but there's all this talk of, Southampton, Ipswich are looking after Southampton. Southampton are higher than us in the league. Well, that's all wrong. So that wasn't right, was it? Do you know what I mean? I respect you as well, Lee. It is what it is. Let's have a look. According to BBC, putting this on it. Oh, there you go. According to BBC stats, Butland is not only the best keeper in Scotland, but the best player in the league. There you go, then. Do you think he was good at Sunderland, bro?
Oh, Meslier.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Pulled off that worldly save, and his distribution.
That was a save 1% of goalkeepers probably would have made in the world.
Yeah.
In the world, it was really good, really good. And yeah, absolutely. I mean, come on. Again, that's just that. What that comes back to that entitlement. Who do you want in goal?
Yeah.
Do you want Kiko Casilla? Do you want Peacock Farrell? Do you want? I don't know. I can keep going.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. This is the thing, innit? It is what it is. It's healthy. It is healthy. I respect it, mate. I respect it. Do you know what I mean? It's calm. Fark gets us up to the Premier League. Do we keep him or give him 5 million in a shoebox and go for a bit? Colin, I mean, what I've always said with Farke, and this is if we get promoted, because we're not going to by the general opinion within the fan base, but if after 10 games we're in the relegation zone and have 4, 5, 6 points, then I would be sacking him, yeah. And that might sound elitist, but I'm only doing that based on Farke's previous performances in the Premier League under Norwich, because they were really, really bad. Now, do I think Farke would be the same at Leeds? No, because he'd have better backing, he'd have better players and a better squad. However, if he got better players, better squad, better backing, and still was in the similar sort of situation Norwich were, then I would be saying, he ain't going to keep us up, folks. We need to move on. That's just being realistic at that time. However, in the Championship, where we're at right now, I believe he's the best man for the job. I don't know who else you go out and get.
Yeah, it's a tough question, that, and it's very much ifs and buts. But I think I'm with the same ilk. I think if he gets us up, he deserves a chance with a bit of money behind him, because he never got that in both goals at Norwich. So. Yeah, there's no reason why this style with the right players in that league wouldn't work, though. Do you know what I mean? It's working. I mean, for me, it's working. I know people want to see a bit more, but we would obviously see a lot more teams. It'll be a lot more open in the Premier League, because teams literally. There was a comment in here a minute ago from a Coventry fan. They came here not to lose. Job done. They were happy with that. You know, that's what every team. That's what I would argue. Probably 20 teams in the league will do. Maybe 21.
Yeah, no, exactly. This is the thing. I think John's put this in a great way, and it's not meant in any way like if anyone's disagrees that I just think what he's the body of it is class. If anyone missed the bet, we're no longer a Premier League side. We had an horrendous pre-season. We're still third. Are we perfect? No. Are we wasteful? Yes. Do you know what I mean? This is true. Is that on Farke? I would argue no. Do you know what I mean? I would argue no. That's just my opinion, but. Yeah, it is what it is. Jaden Anthony didn't get any minutes. Again, with Jaden today, I didn't see the need for minutes, because Nonto and Somerville were playing well on that left-hand side. If Anthony comes on, Somerville comes off. I thought, hear me out, folks. I thought the subs were good today. Okay, Bamford didn't work, but the general... not throwing everyone on, bringing on Nonto really worked. really, really worked for me.
But
I thought Joffrey was okay. Go on, mate.
Yeah,
sorry.
look, Larry, does that become detrimental then? Because now, I know obviously you're calling for Nonto to start. We've obviously got a week's break now, do we? Yeah. Does he come to detriment? Does he come on? Does he have that impact on game? But for me, I think Nonto coming off the bench is the best option because I think Dan James works much harder defensively, as does Somerville when needed. But Nonto coming off the bench earlier for me, much earlier, especially in these types of games when you need to be putting it to bed. I think going back to the pragmatism question that we had earlier, one thing I would like to see is for us to go for the jugular a little bit more rather than sitting off at 1-0.
No, I agree. Yeah. No, I would like that as well. I think Joe's mentioned that a few times. Andrea's mentioned it in terms of we score, we drop off. And whether or not that's the players with a little bit of not entitlement, but maybe entitlement is the right word, that they've won the game.
Overconfidence, isn't it?
Yeah, confidence. Yeah, overconfidence. I think that's fair enough. Yeah, overconfidence. I've just been sent something, Luke. I just want to play. Right, here we go. Look, right. This is to give you a snapshot into. Listen, I'm not no celebration police here, right? I'm not no celebration police. 1 second, I've lost you there, but I've just been sent this on Twitter. I don't think you're going to be hearing it, but this is Leeds Station, right? No, is it Leeds? It might not. Maybe it is, but this is Coventry City Club.
Chelsea, United or anyone, they shall defeat us. We'll fight till the game is won. City, Chelsea.
Well, I think it's pretty embarrassing. I don't know if you could hear that, bro, but that's actually Coventry. Yeah. Yo, you could hear it. They're walking through the station, giving it the big, and they got a draw. Do you know what I mean? Cup final vibes, innit? Cup final vibes. Do you know what I mean?
And it's gonna happen a lot more. As I said, we need to strip back that entitlement because that's going to happen a lot more this season. There's going to be teams coming. There's going to sit back, and there is going to be teams we're not going to break up. And the sooner we appreciate that, and sooner we respect the league a little bit more, because we're not a Premier League team anymore. We're not. We're a Championship team. And as soon as we appreciate that this is the league we're in, and that this is the caliber and the expectation we're going to be coming up against every week, the better and the easier your life will be, and the less stress you'll be about football, and the less it'll ruin your weekend. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree. And like someone says, players as well. Yeah, Callum O'Hare and that, because this was the thing as well. This was another thing. The players did get into Somerville. They did get into Nonto and that's head a little bit. They managed the game perfectly. They came to spoil. They came for a point. The goalkeeper's getting a yellow card. The fans then started to get annoyed. Players came onto the pitch that were a little bit more experienced and started to get into our players, and like you said, that's things that our players have to come through, and experience and know that these things are going to happen. Are we halfway through that? Are we halfway through yet? I don't even know if we're halfway through the season.
No, after Ipswich, I think, innit? Is it 23 after Ipswich? I think we've played 22 now.
Yeah. It's mad. Yeah, man, it's mad. I love this. Tommy G says, O'Hare needs to lose some weight before giving it the big and useless scrub. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, look. Luke, I don't want to keep you all night. We've already done an hour. That's gone like that,
Mental.
An hour. Mental. We've got to beat Ipswich, haven't we? I just think we've got to beat them because I can't deal with the meltdown, bro.
I think it's again. Johnny's mentioning mediocrity there. I think if we're serious about automatic promotion this season, this is a massive 6-pointer in it, and gives us an opportunity with them going into playing Leicester afterwards. Preston got absolutely slapped today at home, so I think we should be going there and slapping them as well. But yeah, definitely this game leading up to Christmas, it's massive for both sides. And look, my mate still, he's a massive Ipswich fan. He still doesn't think they're going up automatic. He can't believe the season the way it's going, and he's
Benjamin Bloom's the same. Benjamin Bloom's the same. He's expert, but I think that's
pretty fair, man.
Yeah.
I respect Ipswich, man, because they're riding the crest of a wave. They're deservedly where they are on merit. Not because they're entitled to be there, but because they play good football and they work hard for each other. And it's as simple as that. We're not a Premier League side because we're not there on merit. We've got to work hard to get there. And until we do, we're a championship team that should be in and around. But yeah, for me, 3 points.
How many points per game are we on, bro? How many points per game are we on right now?
I can tell you 2 secs.
I'm no good with maths, you see.
So we're 22 games, 42, so just less than 2. If we were on 2 points a game, we'd be on 44 points. So we're just under 2.
Right. Okay. So how many will that give us at the end of the season if it was to continue in that vein?
We would be on 84 plus another 4, 88-ish.
There you go. So Jody, it's not mediocre. It's not mediocre, is it? You know what I mean? That's a big season. This is the thing, in it. It's a big season. John says, absolutely bang on, Luke. You have totally nailed it. There you go. We're gonna win the league. It's all right. I don't want to upset people. Apparently, I can't be confident. I'm not allowed to say nice things about the football team. It is what it is. But we moved, don't we? We moved roughly 90. There you go. That's what I'm saying. James knows the score.
People are forgetting that we've beaten Ipswich and Leicester this season already in the backyards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
At their place, bro. At their place. Do you know what I mean?
It's very easy to figure out when frustration, and I'm sure as people calm down throughout the week, well, we'll start. We've got a nice week off now. We haven't got midweek games, so it's plenty of work on the training ground for me. But in summary, I'm not worried, mate, and I don't think there is a lot to be worried about. What will be, and if we get there, it'll be on merit, but there is still a long way to go. So don't write us off yet.
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree. Don't write us off. We'll be all right. I'm just looking at some of the other results. Yeah, right. Anyway, we move. Please smash a like on the video. Try not to get too triggered, like I did, because I know you'll get triggered in response to what me and Luke have said or whatever. But it is what it is. Smash a like on the video. Make sure you check out Ought to Know Better podcast as well. They'll be doing Bacardi and Coke tomorrow, I believe.
There will be at some point. Yeah, no idea who's on it.
No, okay. And final word should be back tomorrow evening as well at some point. We'll get some more different opinions because I know Andrea's got some thoughts, Lockie's got some thoughts, Jer's got some thoughts. So I'll be interested to see how that goes. It's going to be an interesting show. And of course, Bamford enter the pitch, so Kate will have some thoughts as well, right? So look forward to that. Thanks always for watching, folks. Thanks for those that are super chatted and got involved. It's been a great chat. I'm going to go get some sleep now. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Cheers, mate.
Farkes Rant.